morning, everybody. This is Brittany coming to you from the Seniors Blue Book. And today I'm with the ladies over at the Alzheimer's Association. I have Amy and I have Kathy with me. How are you, ladies?
We are great. Thanks for having us.
Awesome. So terrific. Thank you.
It's always fun to have you ladies on here. Amy, we were just talking about how it was close to a year ago we jumped on here together, had a lot of fun, number one, of course, but started kind of looking at all the changes that were happening as the pandemic was rolling out then. So I know we're going to get to those changes and the good things that have come out of those. So let's jump over to Amy first. Let's start with that and, tell us a little bit about the Alzheimer's Association. I think most people have heard of it, but give everybody a little bit of an overview and then jump into some of those changes that have happened since the pandemic.
Well, absolutely, Brittany. And again, thanks so much. I can't believe it was a year ago that we were talking and of course, having fun. And you know what? At that time, we had no idea how long, what was happening. There was so much uncertainty. I remember thinking, well, maybe this will just be a few days or a few weeks. Okay, well, here we are. So for those of you who don't know about the Alzheimer's Association, we are a voluntary health organization. And we have a number of key initiatives that we focus on, including, of course, finding a cure for Alzheimer's disease and other dementias, as well as providing care and support to those individuals who are living with the disease and their caregivers. We have another focus on advocacy and educating our local, state, and federal government officials on the impact of Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. Again, not just on the person who lives with the disease, but for their care partners and caregivers. So one of the things that we really have continued to look at and invest in is identifying early on some of the changes that may be happening. And we really want to promote brain health. Actually, this year with our 2021 statistics, over 6 million people, let me say that again, 6 million people are living with the disease. And so we know that this truly is another public health crisis. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. And I think really from my perspective as a program manager, what my role is in the counties that I serve, so I serve 5 counties in Southwest Florida, is to provide education to caregivers, to individuals living with the disease, actually to the general public on Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. So education is a huge component, as is support. So coordinating and ensuring that we have support and resources, including support groups for caregivers, as well as people who are living with the disease. Again, another significant initiative. And one of the other things that I'm privileged to do is to work one-on-one with caregivers, many times to help them kind of find out where they are, identify priorities, and develop a path forward. So that in a nutshell is what a program manager does. And sounds pretty easy, right? Not sure why we're all so busy, but here's one of the things, and you mentioned it, that is really a silver lining, and it's occurred because of the pandemic. You know, desperate times call for desperate measures, and sometimes I think we may not identify approaches that actually turn out to be really good ideas unless we have to. So a couple things. One of the things that we've done is, and we were doing it this time a year ago, but we've enhanced our program offerings, is when you can't present in person, you need to be able to present virtually. And what we found was that, you know what, after we all kind of figured out Zoom, and, you know, we still kind of giggle because you're on mute. We should keep track of how many times we say that to people. You're on mute. But you know what we're finding is that caregivers are really hungry for information. But this is the other thing we learned. We thought we were offering our live programming at good times, and I think for the most part we were. But when we listened to our caregivers, guess what? They wanted to be able to access programming on their schedule. So maybe they didn't have time to come to a program at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or at 10 o'clock in the morning. But you know what? When their loved one was taking a nap later in the afternoon, they had a little bit of free time. So what we were able to do, and again, monumental effort and great credit to our vice president of programs here in Florida, who really spearheaded the effort. What we did was develop an online platform that gives programs to caregivers as well as the general public, gives it to you on your schedule. It's called ALZ Programs Anytime. And the beauty of that program is you can attend and participate in any information, any education, as well as some of our special events that you want to. And if you want to do it at 9 o'clock from the comfort of your couch, you're good. The other part of our platform also has a calendar. So what we're able to do is notify people of when there are upcoming live events. And what we found is that this has really been a great resource for our caregivers. But it hasn't taken the place of some of our live virtual programming as well. So I can go into that, but I'm wondering if you have any questions or thoughts with this. Gosh, I wish I would have thought of it because it's a great idea.
I was just going to say that I didn't know that existed at this time. So I'm super excited to be able to share. Like, I'm so glad we're doing this today, because for people to be able to access that on their own time is so important. I know even for us putting these videos out,
Exactly.
We put them at a certain time, but they're always available. So I just think it's incredible, and definitely applaud you all for the efforts of this. So.
Well, I can't wait to share it with you. Thank you. I wish I would have thought of it. It was actually my manager who thought of it. And, and I remember when she was talking about it and trying to visualize how it would all come together. It's really awesome. So know that. So I'll make sure that you have that so everybody in the community can learn more about it. The other thing that we know is that some people really do like that live virtual experience. So we haven't gotten away from that as well. So we have weekly schedules, and that you can actually access from ALZ Programs Anytime. But I have a couple that are coming up, and they're what we kind of a special event. So coming your way virtually on May 25th, we are going to be, we're having a program that's called the Proactive Path. So what the heck might that be? It's those things that you want to make sure that once you have a diagnosis, or perhaps you're concerned about a loved one with memory issues, that you're thinking of proactively. What are the things that you're going to want to have in place? And the really exciting part of this program, in my mind, is that we are so fortunate to be able to have a best-selling author, Sue Ryan, and actually Sue is a friend and colleague of mine, and she lives in Naples, Florida, who has written a caregiving book that focuses on her caregiving journey of love with her precious husband, as well as her caregiving experience from previous experience. Sue actually helped out with her dad, and now she shares what she learned. Sue is amazing. She's wonderful. She's fun. She is inspiring. And I am delighted that she's going to be part of that. So that's our program that's coming up on the 25th of May from 1 to 3. And again, I'll make sure you have that. And then we're in the final stages of putting together something a little different. And what we've learned is that all of us caregive a little bit differently. And sometimes some of the issues that we're finding for our male caregivers are different issues than we see from female caregivers, and not the stereotype. We have to recognize that in many households, and particularly more of a traditional relationship, many times it was the woman who was that caregiver. And because Alzheimer's disease and other dementias impact women more than they impact men, what we found is gentlemen who are in the position of needing to be a caregiver, and maybe they've never done that. So that was kind of the impetus for our idea. And on June 19th, it is a Saturday. It is a Saturday before Father's Day, and we're doing that on purpose. From 10:30 in the morning until 12:30, we are putting together a program that we're calling Ask the Expert. It's going to be that male caregiving experience. And so we're finalizing having a number of amazing caregivers that we have the privilege of working with every day to be able to offer that to the community. And guess what? You don't just have to be male to attend, because one of the things that I found a lot is, particularly with adult children, whether you're male, female, whatever, you find that it's hard sometimes to support your dad or your stepdad or the individual who's doing caregiving. And so having a better way of understanding some approaches and understanding the different issues, hopefully can be a resource for everybody. So everybody is welcome to attend. I'm hoping to have that finalized by next week. So there's a couple super exciting things that we have for our caregivers, but we're not done. So you might be afraid, you might gotta say, why did I ask for that question? We have two other things I want to share with you, and I'll make sure that you have it. But one of the other things we've been very fortunate to offer is a free caregiving handbook. It's actually called Coach Broyles Playbook. It's a great book. We partnered with Coach Broyles Foundation. Coach Broyles was a college football coach at the University of Arkansas, and he cared for his wife who had Alzheimer's disease. I will tell you, my caregivers, it's one of their favorite books. They love it. And so I'll make sure we still have that offer available, and it really is no cost. There are no strings. I love to be able to offer that. So one more thing, and then before I turn it over to my partner, here's one of those other silver linings that came out of the situation we've been living for the last over a year. The Alzheimer's Association works very, very closely with the Florida Department of Elder Affairs from an education standpoint, from an advocacy standpoint, and they have been wonderful partners. And one of the things that we've been able to do is to kind of take a step back and not only look at our family, friend, relative, those caregivers, but we've identified the fact that our professional caregivers also need support and resources to be able to serve this population at an even higher level. So what we've been able to do through some generous partnering with the Department of Elder Affairs is to revamp a certification program that we had. We weren't really using it as effectively as potentially we could. We totally updated it, brought it up to current day standards, focusing on evidence-based practice as well as person-centered care. And we are able to offer this to over 1,200, again, when we say professional caregivers, those individuals who paid for their services across the entire state. It's called Essentials. It is, I've actually gone through the program, although I haven't gotten certified. It is a great resource for those who are in the hands-on caregiving, those roles. But it's open to anybody. If it's something you'd be interested in, Brittany, you're welcome to do it. So I think the more we can share that. So you get a certification program. There are certain things you need to complete, which I'll send you the information. But here's the best part. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm the queen of budget and budget friendly and, discount. Okay, it's true. This is actually no cost as well. And so to be able to, after you've gone through the education, you've taken the certification exam, you pass the certification exam, you will have a 2-year certification through the Alzheimer's Association called Essentials. So lots to talk about. I could probably talk for a week about it, but we know that we need to wrap this up. But here's the thing that I think is important. Caregiving didn't go away with COVID, and many times, the challenges and the stress of being a caregiver increased. Alzheimer's didn't stop. We're still dealing with individuals who are living with the disease. So through all of this, we've worked very hard to be able to kind of meet the people we serve at their level. But here's the truth. It wouldn't be possible without great partnering relationships, without money, without the fundraising that we're able to do. And so I'd love to turn it over to my colleague, Kathy Heldman. Kathy is our development manager. Kathy and I are very fortunate. We actually have 3 walks to end Alzheimer's in our market. And so our Charlotte walk, actually our walk to end Alzheimer's in Charlotte County is the kickoff walk for the entire season. So, and of course we are, nothing about saving the best for last. Why don't we just start it off with the best? So we're so excited that we're going to be in person this year. So Kathy, would you like to share a little bit of what's coming up, even though it's the fall?
Absolutely.
Before you know it.
Thank you so much, Amy. And thank you so much, Brittany, for having us. This is so fun to be here. We are so excited about Walk this year. We heard loud and clear from our constituents last year that they really missed coming together. And so this year we are beyond thrilled to be able to have our walk to End Alzheimer's in Lashley Park again this year on October 2nd. And in 2019, we had hundreds of community members come and share a very inspiring morning with us, where we honor loved ones, we celebrate hope for a cure, and we just come together as a community to get to know one another. It's such an amazing experience. I can't wait for it again this year. Of course, we'll also have virtual options for constituents who aren't comfortable in large group settings yet. For everything that we do, and Amy talked about COVID, the safety of our constituents is our #1 priority. And so we are looking forward to October 2nd this year. It's going to be amazing. We also have, in terms of fundraising programs, something coming up on June 21st. It's our longest day. It is the summer solstice, and we like to say the day with the most light is the day we fight. And on that day, constituents come together and they do an activity that they love to support the association and join the fight for a cure. So my partner in crime, Amy Schenk, and I do an event every year where we come together and we do a lip sync battle, where she and I have our own playlists and we battle singing, and people vote for the best costume, the best song that they like. So it's just a really, really fun way to get engaged. So we would love to see constituents have an activity on the longest day. We look forward to seeing everybody on October 2nd at Lashley Park. This week, I don't know if you all know, is National Volunteer Week. And so we've been celebrating our volunteers this whole week. I have the privilege of working with a volunteer walk planning committee and other volunteers to build momentum for walk, and then make an amazing experience for our constituents on walk day. We're beyond grateful for the people who partner with us. And I can tell you, we truly couldn't do what we do without our volunteers. They are our superheroes. And next Wednesday is National Superhero Day. And we have a really fun campaign coming up for next week for our walkers and our team captains. And so for anyone who registers, or if you're already registered, that's totally fine. Anyone who makes a self-donation or launches a Facebook fundraiser, we have a super, super cute purple superhero cape that has the walk logo on it that we'll be sending to people. And this is by far our most popular campaign. We had it last year. And we got pictures from all over Charlotte and Collier and Lee County with people with their superhero capes on. We even had one of our volunteers, Cassie Conrad, who put the cape on her darling dog, Bama, and ran on the beach with it. So super cute, just a really fun promotion and a fun way for us to really honor and thank our volunteers and our walkers. And we'll also have coming up in May a walk reunion for each of our local walks. And so look for more information on that. I'll be sharing it via Senior Blue Book once we have the date and time set. And lastly, Amy and I, even though we're not out in the communities with our feet on the ground, we are here virtually for you. And if you are interested in learning more about our programs, more about our services, more about WAC, she and I would love to come to you via Zoom and talk more about it. So please reach out to each of us. We would love to meet with you and talk about how we can help, how we can support you. And so with that, I just want to close by thanking everyone for everything you do. I can't tell you how much we appreciate your support. And we're so looking forward to walk season this year and seeing everyone in Lashley Park. Thanks so much. Oh, one last public service announcement. After you've heard all of this amazing stuff, if you'd like to volunteer with us, please reach out to me. We would love to have you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies. It's so much great information, and I'm really looking forward to participating. And I think we're going to be building a team again, like we did last year. We did the virtual team, of course, but I love that we get to be in person. 2 years ago, I went to the Nathan Benderson Park, Sarasota, Manatee County one, and it's just chilling how it's just amazing how the community comes together to support your mission and end Alzheimer's. So thank you so much again to both of you, and thanks everybody for watching. Ladies, I'll put all the information for upcoming events, email addresses for you both, so people can contact you directly to either volunteer or find out more about programming or whatever it may be that they need. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.